I find it interesting when there's a movie that comes out and it's very split down the middle. It's very divisive. It's a film that a lot of people love and a lot of people hate. And you'll just have to ask yourself one question. Are you on the positive side or the negative side? Hey everyone, welcome to the top 10 list. Welcome to my top 10 divisive movies I'm on the positive side on. Yes, this is my first part. I'll be doing my next part in my next video, but yeah. I wanted to talk about divisive movies. Very divisive, very split down the middle films, yes. I've talked a lot about movies that like movies I hate, but everyone else seems to like, and I like, but everyone else seems to hate. This list is not like that. This is movies that are split down the middle. Usually, I don't know whether it's critics or audience members, like people hate it and people love it. It's like, got this like big clash between both sides and stuff. Very divisive movies. And I thought I'd do two parts to this of top 10 divisive movies, but the first part I'm going to be doing top 10 divisive movies I'm on the positive side on. And then in my next video I'll be doing top 10 divisive movies I'm on the negative side on. Again, these are movies that are very split when it comes to critics and audiences. A lot of people hate it, a lot of people love it. In this list, these are the films that I do enjoy, that are very divisive movies, but I myself enjoy. I'll get to the negative after, but yeah, this is the top 10 divisive movies I'm on the positive side on. So yeah, let's get to it. Coming in number 10 is last year's Star Wars The Last Jedi. Yes, I just wanted to put that right out there right away, because Star Wars The Last Jedi, critics loved it. Like, they loved this movie. Audiences didn't at all. Like, you'll look at the audience score on like Rotten Tomatoes, it's like almost in the 40s or something. Like, audiences hated this movie. And again, I work at a cinema and I saw so many people leaving the theater hating it. But critics love it. A lot of critics find it ambitious, smart, different, unique, a very well written and solidly directed Star Wars film. And I agree. I think this is a terrific film. Rian Johnson did an amazing job. I thought Mark Hamill gave one of the best performances he's ever given in a film. I love Daisy Ridley Rey. I love Rey's arc in this movie. I love what they did with Kylo Ren. The fight sequences between the Red Soldiers and Kylo Ren and Rey is fucking badass. Like, one of the coolest fucking fights in Star Wars. It's fucking right. And yeah, I thought the humor was good. I thought it was different. It was more of a thinky Star Wars film. It's not the best Star Wars film ever made, but it's different. Everyone harped on The Force Awakens for being too similar to A New Hope, and now this one's too different. Well, fuck. Like, you can't always have everything that you want and stuff, and I understand some of the hate and stuff, and like, there's stuff in the movie that is problematic, but I loved The Last Jedi. I freaking loved it. I had a blast with it. I have the Blu-ray, I've watched it multiple times, and I still think it holds up. I know a lot of people hate it, but I don't. Coming in number 9 is Justice League. Yeah, Justice League. I don't love Justice League, but for what it is, I enjoy it. I think it's funny, it's entertaining, it's got good action. It finally gets like their sticks up their asses and actually has fun with it and stuff. Mostly that's probably because of Joss Whedon and Chris Terrio. Everyone says they want to see the Snyder Cut. I do not want to see the Zack Snyder Cut. I've seen Man of Steel, I've seen Batman v Superman. I do not want a Zack Snyder cut. I don't want an edition just all Zack Snyder. Honestly, I wish this entire movie was just made just by Chris Terrio and Joss Whedon, because I bet all the good things about this movie is all Joss Whedon, and all the bad things like Steppenwolf and the really ugly CGI, that's all Zack Snyder. So I don't want the Snyder Cut. This movie though was fun though. I liked Ezra Miller. Jason Momoa was fine. Henry Cavill actually acts like Superman. Like, Ben Affleck is great. Gal Gadot is great. Like, they're all good performances, and I like them as a team. The action's really good. Some of the visuals don't work. Steppenwolf is a shitty-ass villain, but I had fun with it. I still had some fun with it. There was some good music. There was some good atmosphere. And out of the DCEU movies, it's actually pretty good. It's no Wonder Woman, but I like it. Coming in number 8 is Alien Covenant. Yes, this is the one that a lot of people hated too, and in some ways I get, some ways I don't, because people wanted a straight Alien, like an Alien prequel now, like, because everyone was tired of Prometheus, another film I love. But Alien, like, I feel like there was more of a fan base for Prometheus than there was Alien Covenant. Alien Covenant got so much hate. Like, Prometheus got a little hate. Alien Covenant got a lot more hate. Like, people really didn't like this movie. I did. I liked some of the characters. Michael Fassbender was really good in this movie. I love Danny McBride in it as well. And there's some crazy imagery in this film. There's some pretty intense and very creepy, unsettling moments. Some characters have some really stupid, very stupid decision making in this film. Some characters just do really dumb shit. But I liked this movie. I liked the world building. I liked that it connected with Prometheus. The ending was, I saw it coming, but it was still a pretty cool, twisted ending. And yeah, I had fun with this one. I thought this was a really good Alien movie. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but again, I did. Coming in number 7 is Spring Breakers. This is another one. Critics love it. Critics adore it. Audiences fucking hate it. Understandable. Like, I think, I don't love it. I don't love Spring Breakers. I don't think it's that amazing, but I think it's very ambitious. I think it's very interesting. It's very relevant. It really depicts college students very well. Certain college students, douchey ones, but yeah. James Franco is really great in this movie. Even the girls in this movie, actresses that I'm not usually the biggest fan of, like Amber Benson and Selena Gomez and Vanessa Hudgens, like these actresses, I'm not a very big fan of, but they give pretty decent performances. Even the director, I'm not a big fan of this director, but it's a well-directed film, and again, it has really good social commentary. It has really good, realistic college students. It depicts them very well, and it's very socially relevant, and it's weird, bizarre, it's kind of dark and fucked up, and it's got some atmosphere. It has visual storytelling. It's pretty interesting to watch. There's a lot of weird moments, a lot of moments that are way too weird, like James Franco giving a blowjob to a gun. That's a little weird, but it's a good movie. I think it's unique, different, and ambitious, and I admire it. And I wouldn't say admire it, but I appreciate the film and stuff, and I get why people hate it. But I also get why critics love it, and yeah, I think it's a good movie. Coming in number 6 is The Dark Knight Rises. The Dark Knight Rises is a movie, again, a lot of fans were not liking and stuff, and again, I get it, there's a lot of problems with this movie, especially all the stuff with Talia al Ghul, very problematic, really dumb, worst death scene ever, it's really bad. Even how did Batman get to Gotham City? There's a lot of things. There's a lot of plot holes in Dark Knight Rises. Still think it's good though. I like Anne Hathaway. I love Tom Hardy as Bane, and Christian Bale's good. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is kind of wasted, but he's still good in his role. Michael Caine, Morgan Freeman, all great. I love Bruce Wayne in the prison and stuff. That's really cool and stuff. And there's some intense action sequences, and there's a lot of cool things in this movie. The ending's a little and a lot of things that happen. Most of the bad things happen in the third act, which I can still live with. I still think it's a good movie with the problematic third act, but the rest of the first 2 acts are still really good. Some really good character building and stuff, and yeah, I think it's a good movie. I get the hate, but I'm again with the critics. I like Dark Knight Rises. Coming in number 5 is Big Fish. Yeah, Tim Burton, he's been getting a lot of very divisive on his films, even like Big Fish. But Big Fish. Big Eyes, I meant to say. Big Fish, oh my god. Big Eyes was very divisive too, and I understand that as well, because there's some over-the-top shit in that film, but Big Fish, I like Big Fish. Again, critics were pretty nice with it, but audiences are like, oh, this is a little too weird for me. This is not the Tim Burton we all love and stuff. Where's the Sleepy Hollow? Where's the Edward Scissorhands Tim Burton we all know and love? This one's still good, though. I like the story about this guy who tells the story about his past, but he expands on the truth and stuff. He makes it very make-believe and stuff. Like, he has truth to his story, but he also exaggerates a lot of it to make his story sound more interesting. And then when his son gets older, he always hated his dad for it, because he always says he always lied about his backstory and lied about his life, and he never liked that. And he never knew what parts of his life were truthful or false, because he always over-exaggerated stuff, because his story felt more like a fantasy and stuff. And the whole movie is the story of his dad's life, played by Ewan McGregor and stuff, and I like this movie. I like how this movie is structured. I love how Tim Burton directed this movie, and I love how the story is like a fantasy because it's through the exaggeration of his dad's storytelling, and I think it's interesting, and I think it's very unique. It's very funny at times. It's very heartwarming and touching, and yeah, I like this movie. I know audience members didn't really love it, but I think it's great. Coming in number 4 is another film that critics love, audiences no. That's Young Adults. I just talked about this movie in my ranking of Jason Reitman's movies. Audiences did not like this one. They found it too unlikable, too distasteful. They're just like, oh my god, I don't want to spend the whole time with this girl who is just self-obsessed and stuff, and a girl who doesn't change at the ending, because she doesn't. She's pretty unlikable, and she stays unlikable at the end of the movie, but it shows realism. Sometimes people in this world don't change, and it's very bleak and very realistic, and can't help but appreciate that. Like, appreciate the realism, Mr. Jason Reitman. I think it's a good movie. Charlize Theron is great in this movie, so is Patton Oswalt's fantastic, Patrick Wilson, Elizabeth Reeser. All the performances are really strong, and it is a very bleak and darkly comedic film, but it's good. Coming in number 3 is Wolf of Wall Street. Wolf of Wall Street, this one had a huge clash because when it first came out, people loved it. And then after a while, people started not liking it. The ratings for the critics went down, and the audiences found it too vulgar, off-putting. Again, very unlikable, really in your face. Fucking love this movie, though. I think this movie's so good. Leonardo DiCaprio's Jordan Belfort is amazing. Matthew McConaughey's one scene is amazing. I think it's funny. This movie is funny. It's 3 hours. It flies by. It's hilarious. This movie's so good. It's Wall Street but with a comedic edge. It's so funny. Jonah Hill's also really funny too. That scene, oof. Margot Robbie looks great, but she's also really good. I thought Martin Scorsese did a really good job directing this movie. And I think it's a blast. I get, like, some people may find it too vulgar and a little off-putting, but I fucking love it. Coming in number 2 is Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World. Oh my god, this movie is so good. So good. Peter Weir. I love Peter Weir. This is no Fearless, and it's no like Truman Show or a Dead Poets Society, but it's so good, this movie. I can't believe audiences found this movie dull and boring, and even critics, I think it should be rated so much higher on Rotten Tomatoes and stuff. Russell Crowe is so good. Even Paul Bettany is great. It's just a simple story about this ship crew and stuff traveling the world and some of the trials they have to face and stuff. No spoilers, but I love it. I love the atmosphere. I love the characters in this movie. It feels like you're on this ship with this crew, and I love it. I love when a movie puts you in the situations with these characters. I love when a movie makes you, like, think, oh, what would I do if I was on this ship and stuff? It makes you feel like you're part of the crew on this movie. And that right there is not just a watch, but that's an experience. And I love this movie. I think it's super well directed. Russell Crowe is amazing in this film. Yeah, I think that's amazing. Those people out there who find this movie boring, well, whatever. I think this movie's incredible. And my number 1 divisive movie that I'm on the positive side on is one of my favorite superhero movies of all time, and that's a guy I've talked a lot of shit about, but I do like this movie. That's Watchmen. Watchmen, Zack Snyder. I know I give Zack Snyder a lot of negativity on my channel. I do harp on him a lot, but I do like some of his movies. This is one of them. This is my favorite Zack Snyder film. I think Watchmen is fantastic, especially the director's cut. It's so good. I love that he got not even big known actors to play these characters, because they all did a good job, like Patrick Wilson, Jackie Earle Haley, Matthew Good, all of them were really good. Even Jeffrey Dean Morgan as the comedian. I love that this movie feels like a comic book put onto the screen. Visuals are stunning, the music is fantastic, the action is brutal, the ending is bleak and very thought-provoking. I think it's a very smart and very clever movie. A lot of great political storytelling, a lot of great character moments and character motivations. Very three-dimensional in this movie. I fucking love this movie. I think it's great. I know there was a lot of negativity when it came out. It still to this day has negativity, but I fucking love Watchmen. So yeah, that was my top 10 divisive movies I'm on the positive side on. So yeah, look forward to my next video. I'll be doing my top 10 divisive movies I'm on the negative side on. So yeah, look forward to that. So yeah, in the comment section below, please tell me what are 10 movies that are very divisive, but you are on the positive side on. They're very split when it comes to audiences and critics, but you yourself like it. Comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and join the dark side.